Wrong intro.
What?
We got
That's
the
right intro.
Here, right?
That's the right intro. Thanks to Braku Prime. What's up, everybody?
What's
Welcome
up,
to
Chris?
Mythic Conversations with Jeremy Gerard, your host and moderator, Mythic Customs extraordinaire, and me.
I am excited for tonight, episode 131. We're talking
13. It's got a 13 in there.
It does have a 13. Yeah, I mean, Chris, we are talking about biblical adventures tonight. I feel like tonight is going to be a pivotal night for the Kickstarter, because as we go live, well, you know what? Let's bring this up here. Let's bring up the Kickstarter.
I'm looking at it. Man, this light stinks.
So, bringing up that Kickstarter, we are at $76,896. We are about $3,200 away from this crossing that $80,000 threshold. So what I want to do, we're going to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter, Chris. I know you've done a number of other interviews. I want to talk a bit about what's new, what's happened in the Kickstarter, especially this week. This has been a huge week. But I also want to put a call out to all of you who are watching this tonight. I want this Kickstarter to fund while we are on the air. So
I feel like I should be like,
$3,200.
I need your help. Please donate.
Well, look, some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight are some new 2-packs. Those 2-packs are $48.
Yep.
We need literally 67 people to add 2-packs to their pledges, or we need people to add multiple 2-packs that equal $67. If we can get that, we will be funded. This thing will be over 80,000. I want to make for some good viewing tonight. Help us out. Look, if you enjoy my channel, right? If you enjoy the tutorials I do, if you enjoy this show, I never ask for money. I don't have super chats. I don't charge. I don't advertise. I don't do any of that. So if you enjoy what I bring out there to you and you want a way to pay it back, don't pay it back to me. Pay it back to my friend Chris. Back to the Biblical Adventures Kickstarter.
I'm watching the number. I'm watching.
I know. It hasn't moved yet. Come on, guys. Okay, we're going to bring this down for now.
Well, let's check out some of the chat already, because the chat is killing me. It's too funny.
Yes, it's like a telethon, Dorklair.
Oh wait, I could actually. Oh, cool. I could do it too. Yes, I can highlight the chat.
Is it because do you have the computer you normally use?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
why, because we're both logged in with the master account.
Yeah, it's so funny. This light sucks, dude. I feel like I'm in my garage, for crying out loud.
Well, all right, Chris. So let's talk a little bit about what has happened this week. This Kickstarter has just crossed the 2-week mark, right?
Yep.
So
literally 2 weeks left.
2 weeks yesterday. So just went past that mark. Had a really good start, and you've seen steady growth on this Kickstarter over a period of time. But one of the things that's interesting is, in addition to what the public sees, there's a lot of stuff going on the back end. You're talking to retailers. There have been people that have expressed interest in backing this. So there are orders above and beyond what the backers are doing. And because of that, that gave you the confidence to make a really big decision yesterday, and you opened up book 2, right?
Yep. Yeah, and I think it helps because obviously there was, the 6 figures plus the exclusive, and then having the 2-packs really helped, and then opening up book 2, it definitely all 77 282, and then it 287. Ooh, somebody just pledged $5. Thank you. But yeah, I think having the additional 6 figures definitely gives more selection, especially like the Saint Michael and the Moses. Like those are definitely 2 of the popular ones. And yeah, like I said, I mean, I know I have a number of retailers that are like asking me, okay, well, are we waiting? Are we, doing in a Kickstarter? And, I prefer the Kickstarter to be the Kickstarter, and then the retailers will be separate. And so far, yes, like from everybody that I've talked to, there's definitely been a strong, strong interest and starting to get in like the orders and figuring out what everybody's doing. And yeah, I'm very comfortable with opening up book 2. And if the retailers numbers are really strong, then we might just open up book 3 pretty soon too. So
Yep.
we'll wait and see.
So I think many would agree that one of the highlights of book 2, certainly one of the ones that I know a lot of people are requesting, is the figure that I have on screen right now. This is the Saint Michael, the Archangel figure. This has been one that people really seem to be excited for.
Yeah, it's definitely a great figure. I hate that it's hard to see in the picture, but again, the wings are like a semi-translucent, pearlescent finish, so something very angelic, very cool.
Yep.
And he's got the 2 heads, the wired wrap, which is actually folded because it's definitely wider, but I just folded it around, and the 2 heads, the 2 swords, the shield, the extra feet, the base. I mean, it's a great little figure. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, again, this is one that I know people are excited for, and they're thrilled that it's now available in the pledging, because that's the thing we should say. I know some people are confused. Kickstarter confuses some people, and when you back a project in Kickstarter, the analogy that I like to use is it's almost like buying concert tickets. The price of the concert ticket is going to dictate how you get into that concert, where you're seated, and what your experience is there. Similarly, when you back a Kickstarter, you choose a pledge level and you choose a reward. So you could go for the all-in, which is one of everything in book 1 or book 2. You could pick one of the individual figures, and that's going to be your pledge amount. But one of the things with Kickstarter, once you've backed it, you can go back in and there's a button that says manage my pledge, and you can manually add dollars to that based on other things you want. So back to that concert analogy, once you get in the concert, you can buy concessions, you can buy band merchandise, you can buy VIP experiences, you can spend a lot of money. Concerts are good at making you spend that extra money, and so is Kickstarter. So you can add, if you back for something and you decide that you want additional 2-packs for the gargoyles or the red devils or the weapons pack, we're going to look at all those in a minute. You can just go and manually up your pledge by those dollar amounts, and you'll be able, after the Kickstarter's done, you'll get a survey that comes in where you can basically spend those dollars. So if you've backed already, go in there now, hit manage my pledge, throw $48 more on there, get yourself a gargoyle.
Yeah, and I mean, it's basically, in a nutshell, the simplest thing is, how much money do you want to spend? $500. Then you pick one thing and put $500. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, later on, you'll pick the items that you want. You can change it at any time. You could add to it. Don't take away from it. You can, but don't. But yeah, it's and that was the other thing too, is a lot of people are like, oh, I definitely want to spend more, but I'm waiting for like Saint Michael to open up. And so by opening it up, it's like, okay, there you go, it's available. Go get it.
The thing is, after the Kickstarter's done, when you get that, it's called backer kit, but when you get that survey, you can add more dollars in the survey, but adding it after the Kickstarter is done doesn't help us get to the funding goal. So it's really beneficial to do it now. Oh, looks like you got a little visitor behind you there.
A little gargoyle grotesque. A little imp. Just move your feet so don't roll over them. Come over here.
So on that note, I'm going to bring that up right now. Yeah. So I got to tell you, Chris, that I think my absolute favorite item in the Kickstarter are these guys right here.
Can't hear much, but look, it's you. Look, it's a gargoyle. It's a gargoyle child. Actually, they're not children. They're adult sized.
So these are my favorite, Chris. These were just added this week. Talk to us a little bit about the decision to go in and add a couple additional pieces, including these gargoyle 2-pack.
Well, the decision was made to go in and add a couple of pieces, including this Gargoyle 2-pack. There you go. Yeah, I mean, this was definitely something that a lot of people were asking about and had a it's just hold it. They're asking about it online and at the show and everything. And it definitely was a good idea. The problem was, all right, I already have the lineup kind of set for the most part, but it's like it's too good of an idea to pass up because people love the Saint Anthony, the Fontaine Saint Michel, the Saint Michael statue, and
my favorite before these.
Yeah, and this was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that'd actually be really cool. Make it more of a concrete kind of a finish. And Sherry, did the painting on it and it looks awesome. And it made sense to make it a 2-pack because you're buying something like this. 2-pack is going to go further, and you have the 4 heads and the weapons and everything. So it's a great idea.
Yeah, and with this, like you said, this takes the other demon builders. It takes all those parts, all 4 heads, puts them in together. So realistically, 2-packs. If you bought 2 of these, you would be able to make 4 distinct gargoyles, or grotesques, I should say. As someone, I've painted Mythic Legions customs that look just like this paint-wise. So I really, really dig these. I think they work well. But bigger picture, one of the things I love about this is, and I told you this privately, so I'll say it now publicly, this still feels like it's in the spirit of the line.
Oh, yeah.
When you first told me, well over a year ago now, that you were doing a religious line, I genuinely thought you were knowing you that you were doing like Ninja Jesus and like SWAT Team Jesus. Like I thought that because you're a funny guy. I thought you were good. So when I found out that you were playing it totally straight, educational, I was surprised and delighted at the same time. I really respect the way you've treated the subject matter, and something like this, I think works really, really cool with the line, with Mythic Legions customs and collections, while still having that spirit of being connected to the subject matter.
Yeah. I mean, you see these, you think of just ancient cathedrals, plain and simple, And I know it's hard to see on here. So for I don't know if you have the picture or not, but they have the little piggly tails on back too, which makes them even more fun.
Yeah, I don't have the back shot on here, but there's a little bit of a closer shot showing those two with their faces and stuff. And
I would go so far as to say that the kind of deco coloration was based off of something you did.
So I definitely approve of these. These I think look great.
And I love obviously the bodies are a little on the smooth, plain side. There's not a lot of texture. It picks up some of the texture. There is texture on the skin, and it picks up some of it. But the faces, ooh, man, those faces are just disgustingly awesome. I love the way it looks.
Another thing I like about these, and I've mentioned this when, like, especially for the Saint Michael statue and so forth, all of the figures in this line that are based on specific pieces of artwork, they very much reminded me of those Figma Museum figures that are based on specific pieces of artwork. So they're 3-dimensional articulated representations of art. I really dug that. I thought that was a really cool approach for this line. And these 2 grotesque figures absolutely fit that right there.
Yeah. And it's good reuse of what already is, in the line. So that helps too, it gives you something different. And, that's what we do it at the Four Horsemen and everything too. It gives you something different, but it looks awesome.
It does. Absolutely. So these are available. You can either pledge for these, make it your reward at $48, or for every 2-pack you want, you can just hit manage my pledge, add $48, and then again, when the Kickstarter is done, you'll be able to add those. I did add the website address at the bottom for those who are watching either here live or after the fact and want to go and add some pledges.
So I want to say real quick at Mr. T Bellet, That wasn't the one I was looking at, but where was the other one? Yeah, this. He's going to be making a trip on, I think, Sunday or Monday. He's going over to Italy, and
Really?
I sent him a bunch of flyers.
That's awesome.
He's going to be up in Rome, so he's got
Yeah,
to drop him off at the Vatican gift shop.
let's get the Pope on board.
Yeah, spread him around. I gave him a nice chunk of the large ones.
So, Chris, let's look at this. This is something else you opened up this week that I think has definite relevance here for Mythic Legions fans and specifically customizers. My show is very customizer centric. This is another request that people had made of you since the beginning to do a weapon pack.
Yeah, I was a little hesitant too. I didn't think it would be enough pieces really. But again, you asked, I listened, as our favorite corn boy would say. So yeah, it's definitely it was definitely a good idea to do, because there are some people that are just going to want to buy a bunch of weapons, and these are good, generic enough weapons, and good price point.
So this is a $15. So for $15, you get this. Do you know, in my opinion, what the star of this pack is?
Man, I'm going to say the squiggly sword.
It is not. It is that little wooden staff.
I love
that. I love that thing.
Beat people over the head.
Because we have so many swords and shields and even spears, and the ones in this set are awesome. Like, that fort thing is so wicked looking. Those shields are going to go great with some Templars, but just like a basic, almost like walking stick. And your figures are a little bit smaller than Mythic Legions. So this is not going to read, in a Mythic Legions fan, this is not going to read like a magic staff. It's going to read like a walking stick. Perfect for a woodland type character, like a wizened kind of like forest gnome character. I love that. That, to me, that is the star of the show here.
Yeah, I like it. It's simple but effective. And I will say the pitchfork thing is awesome. Like that, and the rounded shield are both in the artwork in the Duomo. And so the rounded shield, it's got like a little extra bit at the bottom, but I just didn't put it on there. But the pitchfork is interesting, because the two tines are different length. One's longer than the other, and if it's like this, the tines curl up, and then it's got the little pokey thing in the middle. And they use it. It's interesting because the way they use it, it looks like they use it for both poking and pulling. Like the kind of they kind of are pulling, and then they're pushing and poking. So it's multi-purpose.
I can absolutely see that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
$15, I mean, two shields. Now, we haven't seen the handles. These have similar handles to what you see on Mythic Legions, right? Like a little peg.
So, like a upside down L shape. Yeah.
So you're very familiar to anyone who has Legion shields. A couple different swords, that fork we were just talking about, and again, star of the show, that little walking thing. So this is really, really cool for $15. This is another thing that you can add. I like this a lot. Opening this, I think, showed a little bit of variety in the line, showed something. I mean, this was definitely you saying like, hey, you can use this with other lines as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you can, put it with any 1/12 scale stuff. I mean, obviously anything, Marvel Legends, Hasbro, just throw it a Mezco figure. Like, who cares? It doesn't matter.
Sure. Can never have too many weapons.
No.
All right, so the last big thing that was added this week were these two guys. So we just looked at the Gargoyles. Now we're going to look at another 2-pack set that was added.
Hellfire.
These were the Red Devil 2-pack. Which
definitely fun. Oh, you know what? Mythic Dolphin was saying I should have posted up on Kickstarter. Oh no, I did post a thing saying we're going to be up today, which I posted yesterday. So sorry, I just saw that and I wanted to make sure I posted it. Yeah, these guys are funny. Someone had mentioned it to me. They had mentioned about a red devil, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, man, that'd be a good idea actually. So I had to do it. And with those yellow eyes, it's so freaky.
So I don't know if anyone had noticed this, but let me do this. I'm going to bring up the Kickstarter right now because I want to show this. This is fun. So little kind of Easter egg that I threw in there on the Kickstarter. If you go and you look, all of the characters have these images with this text. And one of the things I was particularly proud of is the text on this that says, "Through the ages, the depictions of these damn creatures have changed, and a popular modern style is to represent this clan of furious devils as a red-skinned legion ready to enact punishment on those who find themselves fallen from the light of the Almighty." So
I will say this: if I don't see some pledges from the four knuckleheads, they're in deep duty.
yeah, so for everyone that just grabbed their Furious Four figures, for everyone that's been enjoying the Fury Clan, these guys are right up that alley. These are going to go great with those figures.
Yeah. And I was like, I made the fire more of a blue. I guess what burns blue? Is it methane?
Is it propane?
Propane? Yeah. I just wanted to go with that kind of blue flame. I thought it would be cool, and it's contrasting against their red bodies. Of course, I thought the red fire would be a little too boring. and with the gargoyle, obviously the gargoyle grotesque ones were rock, so there's no translucency to them. Look at those faces, man. So ugly. I love it. It's so gross. Those definitely two of my favorite faces for sure.
Yeah, and once again, there are 4 different faces. So
2 sets of hands.
Yeah, you get all of these in the set. So that's
and these guys come with the if you zoom in their hand, they come with that kind of those 2 hands are for the demons only. They're a little bit more expressive. I like those hands. Those are a nice ad that Bill and I did later on in the project. So it's definitely fun. And they just, and actually, if you look on their bases too, the bases, I didn't know if I should want to go with a translucent red or like a kind of a red, like a solid red. So I went for now with that kind of a more of a, non-translucent base. And, it's kind of like lava-y, hellfire, water, whatever type thing. Just kind of having fun with it,
Yeah, these are great too. So $48 for these. I saw someone a few minutes ago talking about this character, and this is one that I don't know that people are like jumping on as much. They're not talking about as much, but I think it's a really cool figure to now have open, and that's Saint Anthony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and unfortunately, the one thing you can't tell is that he does have his bald head.
Okay, yeah, so I'm back.
Yeah, he's got the nice bald, basically where you'd have a yarmulke. It's like they just took the hair right off. And he's got his little Christ child that hopefully he can hold. It's it's going to be kind of interesting that when they have a articulated figure, I think it'll hold, but it'll be interesting to see. He's got the robes, he's got the little rosary beads and the flower, and he'll have his little halo that'll go behind him, the Bible, and a lot of times in the pictures, that's what he has. He has like the little Bible, he's the child, the rosary, the flower, So just trying to make sense with it.
What I like about this character, so he's a monk, right? He's got a very classic monk look. For all those people that have been asking for villagers, who have been saying like, "Oh, we need Mythic Legion's villagers." Guess what? Here you go. There you go. You want to prove that Mythic Legion should have villagers? Go and buy a bunch of these from Chris so we can say, hey, look, there's clearly people that want villagers because they just bought lots and lots of monks.
Yeah.
In all honesty, this is a great figure. It's a little bit smaller scale, so it's going to make sense with your other legions. All the soft goods are removable, and the soft goods are in prototype form here. The final result, the final ones are going to fit better. They're going to hang better.
Mhm.
Like anything else, these prototypes, there's only so much you can do with these at this stage.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm trying to, whenever I have time, which we know is not not much. Um, yeah, I definitely want to take a robe and tighten it up around the sleeves, cut it off so it's not flipped up.
Yep.
I'm still debating too. Like, I mean, maybe I want them to be flipped up a little bit, but I just don't know if it's going to look, well. But yeah, I want to definitely fiddle with it and post up some pictures to show a little bit of a tighter fit.
Yeah.
The one thing too is, of course, with the legs, it's like you want the bottom half to have enough, kind of space so that the legs can actually, kind
Yep.
of move and be posed. But if it's too big, then it just looks like a dress. Like it just blooms out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Um, I was gonna say
Yeah,
I want
there's a lot. I don't think people necessarily realize all that back and forth that goes in with the factory during production
to,
to
yeah,
make sure it hits that balance of hanging well and looking good, static, but also being functional enough so you can move stuff around.
yeah, absolutely. It'll be nice to to get, Oh, actually, you know what I do need to do? That reminded me. I need to tell the factory we got to, start moving on the tooling for the figure. So I want that to move into tooling phase immediately. And then once I get like, some what do you call it? Test shots,
Yep.
that I can really
Pose them
fiddle with.
around and stuff.
Yeah, fiddle with the clothing and pose them and everything. Yeah,
Toys
always
in
the most.
Motion says these figures looked so good in person. I saw them at ZoloCon. Yeah, so a couple weeks ago you were hanging out at ZoloCon. We had
Hmm.
the Horsemen had all the stuff we were doing, but you made the trip as well, specifically to show this stuff off. And I
Yeah.
heard a lot of people buzzing about it. I heard people excited talking about the stuff you had there. You had some new stuff there that you were showing off for the first time. What
Hmm.
was the reaction that you got at the table?
Yeah, it was definitely positive, and I tried to stay at my table as much as I could, because I like to wander like a little child. Um, and definitely, yeah, a lot of people coming over. Mix of people that were coming to see it, and
Mhm.
then a mix of people that were like, "Oh, what's this?" And people that knew me, people that didn't know me, and it's definitely it's funny because you practically have the same conversation over and over and over,
Sure.
but it's fine also. You know what I mean? Like because
Yep.
I like talking to people. Um, so a lot of people, especially the new people that were same like you were saying, like they were like what, and they thought this is what is and they could kind of see
Mhm.
exactly what it is, and um, they were like, oh, that's interesting, or that's cool, or oh, I haven't seen that before, so like I said, definitely, yeah, a lot of positive feedback, and again, some ideas. Oh,
Yeah.
77713, I just saw it change.
I mean, it's definitely a unique toy line, but that's what you were going for.
Oh yeah.
When you started thinking about this 15 years ago now,
Hmm.
that was part of what you were excited about, trying to do something that really hadn't been done, in this way. We've talked about there were a couple novelty releases,
Hmm.
but to treat it as a full-fledged action figure line with this kind of attention and respect, that's brand new.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it was a mix of things too, where I was trying to hit uh, 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 different groups. You know what I mean? Um, you just hold it in your ear. um, get some glue and I'll stick it in there. Uh, but yeah, like I mean, whether it's just the religious base or customizers or people who want village people, you know, it's like trying to hit different avenues that will uh, appeal to different people, and hopefully kind of all adds up. And
Yeah.
it's like I always say, especially in the past at my other job, every little bit helps. You know, I mean,
Sure.
if somebody, you know, thoughts and prayers of $10 is still $10. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting to, I think, to be where you are for this campaign and this toy line. And I've been excited to help you out a little bit with certain things here, and to be able to see it. It's interesting where we are with Four Horsemen Studios in the Legions lines. It's
Right.
kind of it's a little nerve-wracking because we want to hit that funding goal, but it's
Yeah.
something really kind of fun about this, right? About going back to a line that you're not sure how it's going to do, and you're
Hmm.
genuinely asking people to believe in an idea. I mean, Mythic Legion is almost 10 years old now since, that was done back then. So to be able to do it again, it's something cool about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's yes, it's interesting because we're so used to Four Horsemen pre-orders. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like it's not a matter of if it's going to fund. It's just like, oh, how well is this going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we enjoy it every time because it always blows us away the amount of support and how much people are into this and how many new people there are. And it's just always, it's always fun. So yeah, this is different and new. It's like, started out strong, and then as always with a Kickstarter, it goes, and then luckily we're able to kind of pivot a little bit, get some new stuff in there, open up some more stuff, and people were like, right back up again. And still 2 weeks to go. It's not a question of if it's going to fund anymore. It'll fund.
Yeah.
It'll fund. And I say that hesitantly, but it'll fund. But I wanted to fund and get more now so that more stuff can be opened up with enough time for people to see it and say, hey, I want this, that. And I think I was saying yesterday or when was I saying it, that there's a new, or today, I think it was today, there's a new thing coming that hasn't been shown anywhere in book 4, and it's like, I hope that one gets shown because, or unlocked, I should say.
Yeah,
because
we'll definitely show it soon.
Yeah, because hey, people like the red devils and the gray demons. They're gonna like this.
Absolutely.
Hint.
Well, I mean, it is interesting because when we launched Cosmic Legions, a few years ago now, and I mean, we're in the thick of getting Cosmic Legions ready to start shipping soon. You knew that, like, there was a worry, like we knew that we had a success with Mythic Legions, and it was like, can we do it again for Cosmic? But going out there and doing science fiction toys, there are so many collectors of science fiction's toys that it felt like a safer bet. Doing biblical action figures, there's no precedent for that. There's not a diverse collecting community that are collecting biblical figures the way that you have science fiction or military or fantasy. So this really is breaking new ground in a very cool way.
Yeah. I mean, not gonna lie, I definitely am trying to, hit up the Vatican gift shop because it's ideal. You know what I mean? It's the perfect place for it to be. But yeah, it's new and trying to get it out there. And hey, right now 77,000 is awesome, but I want that doubled. You know what I mean? Like, I want some cool stuff to come. And again, see how the retailers do. The retailers will definitely get additional eyes on it down the road, and hopefully it does really well. I want to get to the female buck, the Goliath buck. I mean, there's a lot of plans and a lot of ideas, but got to get them unlocked first. That tooling is expensive.
Well, and this is step one. I think that that's something that people should understand as well, is that you do have plans, whether or not all 4 books get unlocked in this campaign. We certainly hope they do. Even beyond those, you do have plans, because I think we can agree that, there is a market out there. The trick is, are they going to discover the line during the 30 days of the Kickstarter? They may not. But if the toy fans that have discovered it, all of you people, there's 95 people watching the show right now. If every one of you went and added one figure, we'd be at that funding goal tonight on the air, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome.
I'll say this,
But
man.
yeah, beyond this campaign, you've got a lot of cool stuff that you've been thinking of.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dork Layer has definitely been spreading the word constantly, so I appreciate you, Bill. Thank you.
Yes, he has been, dare I say, an evangelist for the Biblical Adventures line.
I do like that. Should have gone 40 days and 40 nights. That's funny. Hold on 1 second. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go upstairs.
Okay. Well, you brush teeth yet?
No.
Dry your hair yet?
No.
Oh, come here. Okay. Yeah. Hey, just say it.
Okay. Happy birthday, Cookie.
Happy birthday, Cookie.
I know he'll watch this eventually, so he gets a shout out.
There you go. If you want to give Cookie a birthday present, what you should do right now is go to the Biblical Adventures Kickstarter and buy yourself a figure in lieu of that birthday present for Cookie.
Joe Vasa Chicken saw it coming.
So just a little bit shy still, 77,671. So we've got a little bit of ways to go, but I do think that that's important. One of the things you said is that it's no longer a matter of whether or not it will pledge. Right. And that's a good position to be in, right? Because there are so many Kickstarters out there that, can't even get to that funding goal. Forget about stretch goals. They can't get the funding. So getting to that funding goal, I think, is, an accomplishment in and of itself to be very proud of.
So I was just going to say, I really wanted to hit 77777, and it just went up to 77877. I'll take it.
Don't. We don't want someone to drop $100. So
no. I'll take it. I'm happy with that. No problem. I just thought it'd be fun to grab as a screen grab.
So I'm curious. You've gotten a lot of feedback on the campaign. Some of that feedback has led itself directly to things that have been released in the line. What would you say is the weirdest request that you've received?
I don't know. I have no clue. I mean, obviously, people are asking for like biblically accurate angels and stuff like that, which I would love to do. It just doesn't fit with this body, unfortunately. I mean, there might be a way where I can kind of make some sort of outer layer that kind of surrounds the body, but then that's also a big piece too. So it's, if we make a lot of money on it, then yes, why not? I will do it. Oh, there we go. Zombie Judas. I'm going to call that one right there. That's the weirdest thing. I'd have to say that's it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely been like there's been a lot of requests or ideas, but I mean, for the most part, nothing's really been too crazy. Like Larry had all his ideas on like the giants and stuff like that, and I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome. So we'll see. What else? I can't think. I don't know. Have you seen anything weird? There we go. That's the new one. There we go. Yeah, that works. There we go. All right, we got some good ideas in here. We're gonna get a table in there.
I mean, there has been. I know there was one guy who was commenting, who was offended by the severed head with John the Baptist, and multiple people had to explain that that is genuinely part of the story of John the Baptist.
In paintings.
What?
It's in paintings.
It's in paintings, absolutely.
Look it up. Google it. Google Lithia, and then you'll get to severed heads.
Get the severed heads.
I think someone had said too, which I thought was hilarious, was holy hand grenade. I was like, I get that reference.
That too, yeah. I heard a lot of people early on ask what was under Blue Jesus's robes, which was like a really weird but super logical question. because like they wanted to know if it was a fully translucent blue figure.
Right.
But it's really funny when you basically say, you know, what's under Blue Jesus's robes. It's a weird question to be asking. So it was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Here's a question I've seen people ask a lot. Why no silver platter with John the Baptist?
Yep. I assume I'm going to have to do a silver platter.
Seems a lot of people have asked for that.
I know, of all things. I mean, like, okay, if that's what you want, you know. I mean, I can make all your dreams come true with a silver platter. Just pledge.
There we go. That'll be the surprise add-on.
And by pledge, I don't mean the wood cleaning spray either.
So we've now broken 78, so that's pretty exciting. We're less than $2,000 away. Oh, 78,204. Yep. So we are less than $1,800 away. Let me do the
20
math
minutes away from the end of the show. Was that 100 a minute? We need 100 a minute, guys.
That is 40 gargoyle 2-packs. So you know there's somebody out there that wants to build the most awesome cathedral diorama, and they want 40. Actually, it wouldn't even be 40 gargoyles. That's 2-packs. There would be 80 gargoyles around that thing. Go ahead. Somebody needs to add 40 gargoyle 2-packs.
Oh, 78,204. Man, I really wanted to hit that 80 on the stream.
You know, one of the things that's kind of interesting too with this Kickstarter, because we've both backed a lot of Kickstarters, right? There's always a risk. There's always a risk when you back Kickstarter, because you are putting your faith in this provider, this creator actually doing this. And let's be honest, Kickstarter doesn't vet the viability of the ideas. There have been lots of Kickstarters, including some that have gone really, really popular that have crashed and burned. I am comfortable saying this is as close to a sure thing with Kickstarter as you're ever going to find.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably a
you know,
sure
you've got this long history in the toy industry, and now these figures are being produced in the exact same factory that produces the Legions lines.
Yes. So, you know, be produced in the same factory by the same person. So yeah, I mean, you know, the quality will be there. Obviously, the face paint, the deco will be beautiful. You know, I mean, I can guarantee it because again, that's my job. That's what I do. I have a great factory that does this great work, and I have the confidence to say it. I know it will be. You know, they'll be doing the digital deco on the face, so it'll keep it nice and consistent. And fan again, thank you. Have a nice night. And thank you, Greg. And Greg, your shirt is in the office, just so you know. You got to talk to me about it when I'm not busy. It's in the box right there. Just look for whatever size you are. I don't care. No one else is going to have your size, so just take it. There's only like, I forgot if he's 2X or 3X, but whatever it is, there's some in there. Just go find it. It's the box right by the door of my room. Go get it. It's the only time you're allowed in my room when I'm not there. But yeah, I mean, I'm really, you know, I have no hesitation about it. The Saint Michael statue will look, you know, like the same way some of the Mythic Legions figures look, where they have that, you know, rusty, you know, kind of patina finish, and the gargoyles will look, you know, great with this nice dry brush on them, and the red devils will look great with their accent colors. You know, the one thing I was trying to decide too was, for the blank bucks, like, do I want them to be painted finished or injected color with some accent on it? Because it's two very different finishes. You know, injected color is going to give you a little bit more of a shiny finish. It does have a little bit of a translucency, which is you know, obviously nice for skin tones, you know what I mean? Because with skin, it, you know, you just have a little bit of translucency. But I like the finish of a painted figure too.
I do too. I prefer that. I prefer the painted figure, except for, so one thing that's not on the Kickstarter yet is those bucks you just mentioned, those blank bodies, there were 3 colors shown originally: light skin, tan, and the dark skin.
Yeah.
You're adding 2 more. So you're adding one that is black. And by black, I don't mean like African American. I mean like Taurian style black.
Yeah, black, like yeah, Torian, yeah, or like your hoodie.
Yeah. And the other one you're adding is white, and again, ghostly, like pure white.
Yeah, pure white.
Those being injected, I don't think would be a big deal, but I think that the other ones, the flesh ones, make sense with painted. I really dig the black one, because anyone that's going to use those bucks for customizing, that's a great base to start with.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
If you're not going flesh, if you want flesh, get the flesh one. But if you're going to paint it anything else, that's a great place.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and that's why, like, between the black and the white, if you're doing a dude, $1,118. Come on, man. Let's make it happen. It's nothing. But yeah, if you're doing something with a lot of light colors in it, it's hard to do that on top of a black, finish. So having the white finish, you can do a lot of different colors on there. With the darker finish, you could do more of the darker stuff on there. It's just depends on how you want to go with that. But
remember, everyone, Chris has got to drop off at 8:30, which means we've only got
13 minutes.
We've only got 13 minutes, and then we've got this hard stop. Now, once Chris leaves, the show is not done. I'm going to keep going. We kind of flipped the script today. Instead of me starting with news and then going into the meat, we went right into the meat with Chris. So I will end with some of the news that's been going on in the Legions community. So stick around when Chris leaves at 8:30, and we'll cover all of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say also, Mythic Dolphin has been very, very.
Tiffany's been incredible, ringing that bell.
Yep,
absolutely incredible support.
Let's see, what did she say? What blank bucks work with the painted heads of Moses? Or that's all just the light skin one. They're all the same. Yeah, keeping that all the same. All the characters for the most part are using the light skin body tone, and by light skin, it's just kind of standard Caucasian. The demons, however, have a lighter skin. They're more of a lighter pink. But otherwise, pretty much almost all the Caucasian characters are going to have the just the standard light skin buck color. I'm trying to think if there's any. Obviously, you have the tan. The tan angel, and
obviously the African portrait Jesus.
It's pretty much given. I'm just trying to think if there's any more.
That's good. I mean, using that color across them, that obviously makes it a little bit easier for the customizers and pop and swappers.
Yeah, actually, good question. Mythic Dolphin, that's the one. The Pantocrator Jesus, that one has the extra yellow robe, and I think that's the one. It's kind of Middle Eastern finish based off of one of the earliest paintings of.
That's my favorite of the Jesus figures. And now,
beautiful.
So a lot of people have been asking before you go, book 3, book 4. You mentioned earlier that if things continue to go, if this gets funded, which it's going to soon, we get to that, the retailer orders that you get on the back end, book 3 may end up getting opened, and even book 4. But before those are even opened, there are plans to start showing the characters in those very soon. You have shown some. There have been some that have been shown previously. Oh, Chris, we are at 79,000.
We only need $993. Mr. Allen, get the pledging.
Come on, guys. We are in the home stretch here. $79,007. We want to see this. But, Chris, we were just talking about opening up book 3 and 4 to show people. That is coming soon, right?
Yes. It's definitely tough. Again, it comes down to like the retailer stuff too, but I want to open and show book 3. I will need to adjust something on book 3 before before that happens, so that it's correct. But yeah, I want to show book 3 and get people kind of excited for that, and then hopefully that'll get people kind of, you know, bumping up to help unlock book 3. But again, if retailer orders are strong, then book 3 can open up before reaching the Kickstarter funding goal. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, your goal here is to get these things funded, get these things made. So, you know, whether the pledges are coming in on the Kickstarter, like we're asking the viewers to do tonight, or whether these are coming through the retailers, it's all going into the pot that's going to allow you to make these figures.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Where did, oh, there it is. Okay. Wait, where the heck? I just lost my
What'd you lose?
Oh, computer screen. I'm just trying to find it. Where did my video go? That's so weird. It's just on I'm a hot mess. I'm sorry. I was watching, oh, there it is. Okay. I was watching the video on the computer while talking on the laptop, and then on my other screen watching the Kickstarter.
Everything going. It's the command center, the D13 command center. You've got everything going on, figuring it out. So, Chris, let me ask you then. I've mentioned what my favorite figures in the series are. I really love the Saint Michael statue from the beginning, and then obviously now the gargoyles. What are some of your personal favorites in the line so far?
I love Curtis. Well, actually, real quick,
disingenuous. If I fired up my phone right now and just up my pledge, that would be disingenuous. And yes, by the way, I have pledged, even though I am helping on the back end. I have thrown my dollars at this to get cool figures and support my friend.
Thank you, sir. I can't be appreciative enough to everybody that is helping. So hopefully I make a lot of money so I can pay you more money. Oh yeah. So I don't, you know, what would be my, that's a good question.
Your favorites.
I mean, the African portrait Jesus is still one of my favorites. I think it looks awesome, but I also like the what you call it, the Pantocrator, because like I just, you know, the painting that it's based off of is just really like, it's got this amazing finish, you know, the way like the face is not symmetrical and on purpose, and the shadow of it and everything. And I think it came out really awesome on the figure too, so I'm really happy with it. But like, you know, the demons are great too. I just love all of them. Like I love the deluxe ones. I like the basic ones. I like the Gargoyle and the Red Devil ones. I mean, you know, they all have different awesome finishes, you know.
It's going to be cool once those, because right now everyone, because look, these bodies, we haven't said this, but these bodies are not articulated as the prototypes. They show where all the articulation is, and these are double jointed knees and elbows. These are butterfly joints. So these are going to be very, very posable figures. But for these prototypes, they're printed as solid pieces. Yeah. I cannot wait to get those gargoyles and genuinely crouch them down and like very much make them like grotesque style, you know, on the edge of a cathedral wall type look.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how deep of a crouch we can get them into. Cristo Pantocratore in Italian. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Just like English. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how much of a crouch we can get, because I do definitely want it to be able to get that as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know, it might wind up being where I might shave off a little bit on the pelvis so that the legs can get, more, the thighs can go more up, you know what I mean? Because the only one that's gonna affect is the blank bucks for the most part.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you don't see it as, under the soft goods for all of the others.
Yeah. So yeah, it's something that I can fiddle with that on the test shots too. You know what I mean? Once I get it and play with it, see the functionality, I can adjust a little bit. Crouching Gargoyle, Furious Devil.
Now, last thing I'll ask you before you go, and please, we've got literally minutes.
Come on, 4 minutes.
$30. That's literally $5 from everyone who's watching right now.
Oh, come on, bump your pledges by $5.
That's a super chat. Literally, if all of you basically took super chat dollars and backed this, we'd be there. Fulfillment. When are you expecting that these are going to start shipping to backers?
That's a very good question.
That's why I asked it. Look at me being an ace interviewer.
I told you not to ask for that. No, I mean, hopefully, which is why I want to get started on the tooling now. By getting started on the tooling now, hopefully these will, be in the warehouse come December and start going out. I mean, I would obviously love to get these into people's hands. Before Christmas, and it just depends on what's going on. I mean, we may wind up fulfilling these in the Horseman warehouse, and so of course, obviously, if there's something of, what do you call it, like a timely, matter or something, whatever, things that have to go out. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's going on during that time, but if there's anything like that, then that'll
try to figure out what Legion's figures will be shipping come the end of the year.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, I am.
Well, we all know delays unfortunately do happen, but the good news here is this is not a crazy long wait. You are backing this now. We are in the beginning of March. You are hoping to have this in fans' hands, shipping out by the end of this year. Even if there's a little bit more, we're talking about early next year as a possible fallback. So this is something where enough development has already been done on this that this is going to be a much quicker cycle. There's not the amount of new tooling in this line that, say, something like a Necronominus wave would have.
Yeah, right. And you know what? But even on top of that, the deco is not Mythic Legion style anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, $182 is not asking a lot, guys. $182 for crying out loud, please. Just do it.
Out of the corner of my eye, I'm looking at that screen and I'm like, come on.
Right there for me.
I know, it's like, please, this is, when we did this, I didn't know that we were going to be this close to funding during the show. So this is just like a happy accident. And come on.
Yeah, I can't talk. I'm just looking at it now. It's just driving me nuts, man.
One of my big spenders. Come on.
Yeah, just throw in a future super chat. Come on.
This is what?
$177.
This is 4 gargoyle packs or 2 gargoyle packs and 2 red devils. You need 2 of each to get the look of 4. So this is literally $200. $200 and you get there.
I know.
Oh.
This is driving me bonkers. I don't like the stress.
It's 8:30, Chris. You said you had a hard stop.
Oh, hard stop at 8:31.
Chris!
I don't even want to know.
Chris!
Go back. Oh, it did it! I was changing windows.
Yay!
That's the first. Live on live stream.
On Mythic Conversations. We are funded. Chris, let me be the first to say congratulations to having your Kickstarter fully funded.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I'm honestly, I don't even know what to do at the moment. I'm embarrassed.
Chris, I'm so excited for you this evening. Thank you so much for
Oh,
joining me and allowing me to be part of this as well.
Mark, I'm gonna kick your butt.
There's Tiffany. All the comments are coming in. Congratulations. Mark Hausiel is asking where his shipping notice is.
Oh my
And it's
gosh.
continuing to climb. See, we always say that once it gets funded, then
Yeah.
then it's not as hard to get pledges. It's
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
there.
Well, seriously, you know, thank you to everybody. Seriously, I mean, it's you know, I do not do well with good things. I get too embarrassed and too shy. So I don't know what to say or do at this moment, but I appreciate everybody. So thank you very much. This is awesome. And I
Absolutely. Chris,
hopefully get more.
thank you all so much. I know you've got to go. So thank you for being with us here this evening. And again, congratulations.
Thanks. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you,
I
everybody.
absolutely will, Chris. You
I
have a
guess
good rest of your night.
I guess we're gonna have to put out a Kickstarter update.
There you go. Get on it.
Thanks. Good night.
Okay, everyone. Again, thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. I was excited to be a part of that. We couldn't have planned it better. So thank you all, everyone that up there pledges, everyone that backed it, for helping Chris get there. It's great to see one of my friends, someone who I know he cares very much for this. So excited to see him be able to do this and to be a part of it. But let's change gears a little bit. We have a lot of stuff to talk about in the Legion's world beyond biblical adventures. So let's talk a little bit about that. So this weekend, it was announced, we announced previously about the PowerCon Demistros figure. And then this weekend, we showed this guy here. Let me get to the picture. Got a lot of pictures here, so let me find it. We showed this guy. So this is the PowerCon edition of Demistros. So previously, what we had said was, this is a figure. He is not a Mythic Legions character. He is not a Cosmic Legions character. This is a character who was made specifically for PowerCon. It was made in the spirit of those toy lines that many of us played with as kids, to be like that epic villain in kind of the storyline. But it's not a new line we're creating. It's just a cool toy for PowerCon. Now, when we first showed it, let me bring up the screen how it looked when we first showed it. We showed Demistros previously, and he looked like this. So this is the standard Demistros. So the figure that is going to be available at PowerCon will have all of the parts you see here. It'll have those soft goods, that bone looking head, and it will have, the armored hands. Yes, it is. No, the loin piece is actually from Arethyr, Curtis. That is the Arethyr loin piece. It's only been used on Arethyr, so it's not as widely used, why you might think it's new. Brand new soft goods skirt type piece and soft goods cape by C. Jessam, including those integrated belts. So this is the one that's going to be available both standard and at PowerCon. The PowerCon one will also have those green elements as well. Bring that up here. Looks like this. So obviously, whenever you do something like this, there's going to be mixed reactions. Some people love it. Some people hate it. At the end of the day, at Four Horsemen Studios, we've very much wanted to not do true exclusives. Having a figure that there's no way to get any version of that figure outside of the con is something we've always tried to avoid. What we try to do here, we did it with the Legions Con figures, we're doing it with the PowerCon figure, is if you go to the con, if you get it at the con, it's something a little special. It's the character's got a couple additional bonus parts and different packaging, but the standard figure that you can get that through Store Horsemen. So that's how this is going to be. Now this figure, the PowerCon one, is being sold directly by PowerCon. So a lot of people asking us questions. We've been saying you got to ask PowerCon because they're handling the sale. I do know for a fact they're going to release information on this soon. They have the things I know they've said publicly. I can repeat. It is going to be limited to 2 per person, and they are going to do a pre-order. But I shouldn't say pre-order, I should say pre-sale. The way they've done their exclusives in the past is they do an online sale for attendees. So when you go to the con, so you don't have to stand in a crazy, crazy line to get the exclusive, you buy in advance, and then it will be waiting at the con for you. There will be a separate room that you can pick it up any day during the con, go and get the figure that you've already paid for. So makes it a lot more convenient. Doesn't make it so you take up a lot of your time at the con waiting in line for that exclusive. So they've already announced that that's what they are going to do. That version, again, will have these transparent green parts. Now, after the con is done, we will also have that standard version available at Store Horsemen, similar to what we just did for the Legions Con figures. That Legions Con figure sale, that ended last week. I have seen some people asking if we are still shipping the Legions Con figures. The answer to that is yes, we are. The plan is they should be all out and shipped this week. We should be done with all of those. So anybody who's still waiting, the wait is only a little bit longer. They are on the way. In addition to the Legions Con figures that are shipping, the other thing that people are starting to get is the replacement heads for All-Stars Trolls. So those All-Stars Trolls heads, those have arrived at the studio as well. Those are starting to go out to fans. Additionally, retailers, their street date for the All-Stars Trolls is this coming Friday. So those people who purchased from the retailers, those All-Stars Trolls will be shipping soon as well. Yeah, Curtis says, if you are going to the con, you're saving travel and hotel expenses, you can put towards the figure on the secondary market. Yeah, it's certainly, an option. You're going to pay more in the secondary market, but it is generally less than going to the con and dealing with all that. Or like I said, if you want the standard version, as you saw with the Legions Con figures, I told everybody these aren't going to sell out over, in a couple minutes. You're going to have time to get them, and all those figures stuck around for a little bit of time. I am seeing people get them in hand now and saying, "Oh darn, I should have ordered more." These figures have so much value for that $37 price point, so very excited to see that. Other stuff going on, other news that has happened. So last Friday, if you follow our Instagram, last Friday we dropped, let me find it here. We dropped this piece of information. So this came out of nowhere. People weren't expecting this, and this was a data briefing on subject Outpost Zaxxius. So I'm not going to talk a ton about this tonight. This is the next Cosmic Legions wave. We have seen one figure so far. I'll bring him up in a moment, but I don't want to delve too much into this because we've just gotten started. So next week on Mythic Conversation, we are going to dig deep into Outpost Zaxius. We are going to have a lot of fun with that. But what you are seeing already is we're doing something a little bit different with this particular wave in the way we release it. We love doing the big reveal shows, and the big reveal shows are awesome for big reveal waves. Things like Mythic Legions Necronominus. It makes a lot of sense to do the big show for that. But we're always trying to do new things. We're always trying to engage with the fans in different ways. So for this particular wave, we decided to do something a little bit different. And what you saw was that on Monday, we dropped the pictures, the turn pictures of the first figure, which is the Tusk Pilot. And then yesterday, we revealed this super cool photo by Trevor Williams 1/6 shooter. I mean, what a gorgeous, gorgeous photo here. This figure is one that when I first saw it blew me away. I'll talk more about it next week, but this is a paint job that my good friend Joe Vassapolo did. He nailed it. The shiny metallics on this particular figure took my breath away. That is not hyperbole. It was, I loved it when I saw it. And then seeing the photo that Trevor was able to capture, absolutely gorgeous. But what we're doing with these is, in addition to the photos, we're also publishing some kind of fun short stories, right? So we've already said that every figure in the Outpost Zaxius wave is going to have a short story accompanying with it. So if you go to Source Horseman, let me bring it up here. Yeah, Curtis, I agree. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's just a wonderful figure. So if you go to Source Horseman, right on the homepage here, if you scroll down a little bit, the latest blog articles are always there. But additionally, if you go under updates, blog, that's where they are as well. So the first one we've posted here is the stories of Outpost Zaxius, the pilot's tale. So if you click this, this is a short story about this particular character, including an interesting run-in that he has had at Outpost Zaxius and what the payback for his actions may be. So kind of a fun story, and these have been really fun things for us to write. This is just the first one in the set of short stories that are going to be a part of this. Again, there's going to be one for every single figure in the wave. So that's kind of exciting because it gets you right in beyond just that that bio that they include, to have this additional short story that fleshes it out. That is a little bit more. Star, who wrote the story, I actually wrote all the short stories for Outpost Zaxius, of course, you know, with input from other team members. Everything that we do is a collaborative process, but a lot of what you see here, the writing, similarly to the Mythic Legion's book, this is all me writing these stories. So really excited about that. Again, I cannot wait to come back next week and talk more about this particular wave and more about everything that you guys are thinking and enjoying in it so far. Yeah, Hedgehog, I agree completely. Incredible work, man. I'm all in with that shiny red. Very, very cool. Thank you very much, Star, saying the pilot story is sensational. Yeah, the blue head, Curtis. I mean, that's a good point. So let me show that there. It is so easy. I'm going to bring him up. Give me a minute. It is so easy to look at that shiny red armor paint job and just be wowed by that. Totally, totally makes sense. But you are spot on. That blue head that Joe painted there as well, that is just such a great paint job. Such a great look there. I love the contrast with the rest of the armor you're seeing there. Obviously, I saw some people asking about the torso. It's a little bit different. It is an attachment that goes over, so you can pull it off and get a different look. Very cool. Like I said, I got to stop myself because I'm going to keep talking about it if I don't stop, if I keep going on. So very, very cool. Let's see. Yeah, Laura, nothing to report on the book yet. I've been doing a lot of editing this week. I will tell you that. Trying to get, there's specific breakpoints in the book. There's a point where the book really turns. I'm getting up. I'm past that point, but I kind of stopped and went back, and I'm really editing that first large chunk because I want to put that to bed, get that all done, and then I'm in the home stretch and I can finish the rest. Let's see. Does the alien race have a name? Not that we've revealed yet. Okay, so one other thing I want to look at and show everyone today is something else outside of official Legion stuff that I revealed last week as well. And of course, let me find it here. I am talking about this monster. So for a while, I have wanted to do just a big, giant, crazy piece. At last year's Legions Con, actually, at one point, Len and I from Wolf King Customs were going to do a troll-sized dragon. Um, I had some wings to put on it. We had a whole plan going. We even had the head sculpted. And then, Brian came out with, Brian C came out with a bunch of troll scale dragons, and it kind of took the wind out of my sails. No offense. I wasn't upset by what Brian did. But definitely when you want to do something and you want to make a big impression, when someone else does it, and Brian did it great, kind of takes a little bit of that enthusiasm out. So we put that to bed and we said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But then I got an idea. I said, you know what, critters are my thing, all about the critters. Let's do a critter. What can we do that would be big? I love elephants. So I said, let's do an actual elephant. As usual, I worked with Walter DeMarco of Mass Customs to put this together. So this is going to be a troll scale elephant. The ears and the tusks are separate pieces. You can see these ears have armor on them and they've got earrings in them. The tusks have armor spikes on them. There are going to be some that are plain as well. But one of the things, as crazy as that is, Len sent me this before the show started. And I said, Len, can I share this tonight? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. And I wanted you to take a look. This is a print that Len sent me. So what you are seeing here is right in the center. That's one of my weasel heads. So that's the head of the weasel, custom parts that we have. These ears and these tusks, if you look at those in relation to that weasel head, it will give you a bit of a sense of how absolutely insane this thing really is. This is a gigantic, gigantic piece. I have no idea what the pricing on this is going to be. I do know that he can literally print one of them at a time. And because the main head and the other pieces all print separate, he can't even print one head on one printer. They're all over. So it will be an elephant troll. I call it a trollophan. It's not going to, like, the feet on the trolls don't come off easily. So I didn't want to do different feet that would replace them because, number one, I think it's going to be a super pain in the butt for people to take them off and put the new ones on. And because trolls are so big, I'm afraid of having the feet be a custom part that's holding all that weight. So for me, this is a trollophan. This is going to be an elephant head, but the troll body. So absolutely crazy over there. I love this thing. Cannot wait. Len said he should hopefully have it done for me soon so we can actually get around to painting up the prototypes and showing everyone what this thing looks like. Okay, another piece of news here. Curtis, I was just about to get to this. This weekend, if you are in the Michigan area, Four Horsemen Studios will be at Muskegon. So Muskegon in Muskegon, Michigan. This is a show run by my friends at the My Wife Is Going to Kill Me podcast. Pete McCarthy, Petorian. He's the one that puts this thing on. Should be a really fun event. Jim and Cornboy are flying out there. I believe Cornboy is already in Michigan as we speak, probably getting into some trouble with the rest of those guys, but he is out there. Jim is on his way soon. They're going to be there meeting and greeting fans. There is also a panel discussion. The show on Saturday runs from 10 to 5. Those guys will have a Q&A kind of discussion at 4 o'clock on Saturday, the last piece of the day. Additionally, we did send some product out to Michigan. Pelvicus himself, Travis Bowles, will be handling that. So it's kind of a street team-like event. He will be selling those products at Four Horsemen show prices. It is a limited amount of stuff, but Joe Vassapolo made sure that we sent some really, really good stuff out there for the crowd coming out to Muskegon. Now, one thing I will mention, anyone going to Muskegon this weekend, the Four Horsemen Studios table is going to be cash only. In addition, to the official representation. Team Wolf King is going to have a big display out there. My friend Curtis Ackerman is going to be out there running that booth. Stephen Bouchatti, Lord Stephen, the Alpha, is going to be out there as well, running, helping with that as well, having painted heads and so forth. I know Eric Miller is going to have a table out there. I know that Alexander Deshaw, Drug Gizmo Customs, with those cool fountains, he's going to have a table out there. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff that is going to be happening at Muskegon this weekend if you are in the area. I think that is all the news that I had for this evening. I'm going through my photos here, seeing everything. Yeah, I think that's all of it. I think we're good. What an eventful night, right? Woof. Wow. I can't believe that we're not even at an hour and a half yet. It seems like so much has happened. Once again, thank you for everyone for being a part of that and enjoying this evening with us. Very, very cool to be able to go live and, see that get funded live on the air. So thank you to everyone that did that. By the way, thank you to everyone that reached out to me as well this past weekend. It was my birthday. You don't have to hit me up in the comments with a happy birthday. That's not why I'm saying it. Many of you already reached out to me and wished me a happy birthday on Sunday. So thank you all very much for that. I am someone who actually doesn't like my birthday very much, which is weird because I'm clearly not shy when it comes to attention. But for some reason, I get weird about it on my birthday. But thank you all very much. It's nice to know that I have so many people that wanted to give me those birthday wishes. So very, very cool. As I said, next week, I will be back here with a look at Outpost Zaxxius. So before we go tonight, I've got about 10 minutes left. Let's open it up to questions. If you have any questions right now, hit me up in the chat. We'll talk. How is it to have the same birthday as Cookie? It is hard to share it with, such a mountain of a man. The fact that every day is Cookie's birthday, but if I had to share it with anybody, Cookie is the person I would choose. Joe says it's now my goal to make your next birthday very uncomfortable. Okay, Joe. Well, let's just see. Let's hope it's not last year's birthday was during ZoloCon weekend. So let's see. Just my luck, next year will be ZoloCon as well, and I'll have to be a part of that. What else is going on? Oh, obviously, we are the start of March, so the retailer appreciation wave that went live last Wednesday. So we're 1 week into that. A lot of people have asked when that pre-order ends. If you know how retailer pre-orders work, they don't necessarily always have like a fixed end date the way that Four Horsemen does, but they have to have their orders into us by the 31st. So beyond that, they're probably going to cap their pre-orders at a number that they've already ordered. So my suggestion to you is if you do want to place an order for any of those retailer appreciation figures, you're definitely going to want to do it this month. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Star, wait until next week with the Cosmic Legions questions. We'll talk about all Cosmic next week. Very good, thank you. Okay, so Greg is now saying that it's going to be uncomfortable as well. I'm getting a little worried. This is a great question. Will Demistros have figure obscure style packaging or new catch-all 4-inch packaging that future non-Legions figures may use going forward? The second one, 100%. We are developing, and they are going to share the packaging for Demistros, but we did develop a kind of packaging that will be used going forward for any projects like this that don't fit under one of those umbrellas. The show version will be a boxed piece, kind of like what you saw for Sir Gerard, but it won't be that ultra deluxe magnetic front type thing like you see with Figure Obscura. So really nice presentation, just not the Figure Obscura level. Star, we'll talk about Cosmic Legions next week. Jay, I am going to PowerCon. I think a lot of people are going to PowerCon. How's Cosmic One coming along? It is coming along well. It's I think I might have said this before, but there's a couple pieces that we're still working out the kinks on, but it's a very small number of pieces. So it's not even like, oh, this whole figure's messed up. It's specific pieces. The good thing is the pieces that aren't problematic are moving forward. So the injection process on all those pieces that are fully approved, that's been going on. Things are being assembled. So the problems that we're having haven't stopped production. They've slowed us up a little bit on a few things, but we're working through those. I don't have an updated timeline for you, but I will say things are getting very close. We are going to have these in our hand soon. Absolutely soon. And I'll talk more about that next week. I'll talk about the decision to do a third wave of Cosmic Legions before people have wave 1 in hand. That's something that I know a lot of people have criticized, and it's a legit comment to make. So I'm going to address that next week. That's something that I think is worth talking about. Obviously, plans had to change a little bit. We'll cover it all. Tickets and hotel rooms. So we still have plenty of tickets for the show. A lot of people, we've sold way more hotel rooms than we have show tickets, which makes sense. Show tickets get charged up front. Hotel rooms get charged upon check-in and are refundable. They're cancelable. So I think a lot of people secured their rooms before they bought their tickets, thinking, oh, if I can't go, I'll just cancel my room. Hopefully not everybody will do that because we get in trouble for that. But that all being said, rooms are almost sold out. There's only a handful of rooms left at the Venue Hotel. Tickets are absolutely fine. Retailer will be shipped right from the retailers. The retailer wave is something we will not be carrying now or ever. So we will not have those figures at shows in the future. We will not have an in-stock sale or any of that crazy stuff. These are from the retailers only. Yes. So Demistros will be found in like a special projects section at some point. I haven't done it yet because I have one figure, and that's going to be a woefully unexciting section to have at this point. But I've already started to plan out and map out how that's going to look in the future. All-Star shipping soon. Yes, it will be. Again, we'll have more information on that. Right now, we're wrapping up the Legions Con figures, getting those all out. Troll heads, getting all those out. And then as soon as those are done, we're moving on to All-Stars 5. So there will be announcements. If you look today on the Four Horsemen channels, I actually showed the heads pack. Let me bring that up, actually. That's another cool thing that we can look at. Another cool piece of news type stuff. So I posted this today as well. This is a little bit of a surprise. The Mythic Legions Heads Pack 1 that came in the All-Stars 5 wave. I think a lot of people expected that this was just going to be in a blister tray, polybagged, which is what we've done for weapons packs. But one of the things that we were talking about with this is we wanted to do it a little bit different, give it a nicer presentation, so we put it in a card. One of the byproducts of this that's really cool is those people that get the all-in. When you open that all-in, remember, this wave was 9 figures plus a horse plus the heads pack. So the way it works is the horse is packed, and then the 9 figures, well, because the heads pack is also packed like a figure, you get 2 rows of 5. So it's like such a nice clean pack out where it's the 10 standard packages and then the horse. It looks absolutely great. So Joe Vassapolo, who is the man who would know, says AS5 is happening very soon. So before you know it, we will be talking about that. Yeah, Joe is right. All of us wish that we had Cosmic Legions in your hand already, but I mean, he says it perfectly. We're taking time to make all of Cosmic the very best it can be. Rushing the line is not what we're about. The line is so good, you'll appreciate it more. You know, especially this first wave, we need a lot of these building block parts to be right because everything that we're doing now is going to pay off in future waves to get those out quicker. Let's see. Gorilla Babies. What I can't answer what the future holds. What I will say is we have lots of plans beyond. First off, the first story arc, The Rise of the Dark Four, that's not done yet. We still have more story to tell in that arc, but beyond that arc, we already know, we already have years of content and stuff planned beyond that. So lots of stuff happening. Yeah, Joe. So a lot of people were super impressed by the necks and the heads pack. That wasn't a surprise. We said we were going to do that. Like literally on the website for the heads pack, there was a picture of the necks. We showed all the necks. So I think a lot of people didn't realize it was coming with necks, but absolutely that's something that right from the beginning, a number of people had suggested, oh, please pack them with necks, and it totally made sense. So we did. So there's 4 different necks in that set. Yep, Brian, heads come with net packs. Yes, everyone remembers tactics, Curtis. They're in the process. Very good. Excellent. So there we go. I've caught up on questions and we have reached time. One more time, thank you again, everybody. We appreciate so much your enthusiasm and your support tonight, not only for my show and the Legions community, but for what you did for my friend Chris and his Biblical Adventures toy line. Thank you all very much. I will be back here next week talking all about Cosmic Legion's Outpost Zaxxius. And if everyone's wondering when the next reveal is, I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Good night, everyone.